Sacramento, what is happening? Sacktown Pete back at it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Boy, let's talk about this tweet talking about the Sacramento Kings potentially and possibly moving the 13th overall pick in this month's NBA draft. Evan Siddery, shout out to Evan for this tweet, came out and said that the Kings intend to shop the 13th overall pick along with future draft capital to aggressively hunt a win now piece. Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter are two players who will likely be dangled in trade talks over this next month. Sacramento wants to seriously compete with the midst of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis' prime years. As you guys can see the picture of Vivek, the Kings owner, and the Kings GM Monty McNair in this tweet. So now, this is not a surprise to me. I still plan on doing my draft prospect videos this month as we get closer to the NBA draft. But the likelihood of this happening is not surprising at all. The Kings need a athletic wing in their prime to go with the Fox and Sabonis who are entering their primes. Keegan Murray's going into year 3. He's going to take another leap and ascend in year 3. Keon Ellis is going to be back better and stronger than ever before. And we'll see what happens with Malik Monk if he is retained and if he comes back and he is resigned. But I like this. This should be no surprise to anybody. The Kings should, if they can get a win now piece to go with Fox, Sabonis, and Murray, yes, you trade the 13th overall pick in this year's NBA draft because let's face it, this year's NBA draft, you're going to draft most likely another 19, 20, 21-year-old rookie. And the likelihood of that happening is still very high, depending on which players are available by the time the Kings are on the clock at pick number 13. And there's a good chance where this player may not be as good as, or it's going to take time for him to develop over the next few years. And I don't think the Kings can have any patience. They have plenty of young assets on the roster already. I mean, they drafted Davion Mitchell. They drafted Keegan Murray. They drafted De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is going to his 8th year. Domantas Sabonis is 27 years old. They're both in their prime. De'Aaron Fox is going to be 26 years old going into the new season. So I'm not surprised by this by any means. They want to get a win now, piece. Will a Harrison Barnes and a Kevin Huerter and the 13th overall pick attract a win now piece? We shall see. I mean, I can tell you the Kings were actively aggressive in trying to get Jeremy Grant at the trade deadline this past February. And I wouldn't be surprised if they revisit talks with Portland because Jeremy Grant is under contract. He signed that big 5-year, $160 million deal with the Blazers last offseason. And a year later, they're obviously in a different direction because they finally moved on from Damian Lillard. And Jeremy Grant is a little on the older side. He's a veteran, and he's been around the league for quite some time now. And I think that the Blazers, because they're in a different direction, they may be open to revisiting those talks and moving on from Jeremy Grant and by getting younger. And with this 13th overall pick and or Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter, could that be enough to get it done for Jeremy Grant? I know Jeremy Grant is a lot older, and there will be questions about moving the needle. Does he move the needle for the Kings? In this case, if you're giving up Harrison Barnes or Kevin Huerter and the 13th pick for Jeremy Grant, I would do it. Jeremy Grant is proven. He's a bucket. He can play defense, and he would be a fit alongside Fox and Sabonis. But I'm saying is that I would be open to doing it. But obviously, if you get a better offer or a better player in return, like a Brandon Ingram or like a Kyle Kuzma, listen, guys, these names are going to be heavily rumored to be on the trading block as soon as draft night. So the Pelicans or the Wizards might be looking to get another first-round draft pick. And the Kings are going to be in the mix for a couple of names, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what the Kings actually do. I want to hear from you guys, though. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this rumor about the Kings looking to move the 13th overall pick with future capital of the draft to hunt a win now piece. I mean, if I had to pick between Kuzma, Ingram, and Jeremy Grant, I would obviously pick Brandon Ingram because Brandon Ingram, over the years, has killed the Sacramento Kings, and he would be a perfect damn fit next to Keegan Murray, Fox, and Sabonis. I wouldn't mind Kyle Kuzma either, but I feel like despite Kyle Kuzma's name being in the room realm, he wants to stay in Washington and turn them around. And that leads to Jeremy Grant, who could be a realistic, another possibility for the Sacramento Kings to take a look at. So with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Have yourself a great rest of your evening. Take care. God bless. Keep pushing forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.